We're going to talk about the fuel system on this top alcohol funny car. And what I'll start with is that the fuel that we run is 100% methanol alcohol in this fuel system. That's all we can run. We can't run any additives. And we get tested every lap. It's basically 99% alcohol, the grade that we run. 100% is a medical grade that only the medical industry gets. You can race with it, but it's kind of hard to come by. So that's the fuel that we run. What I'll start with is here, this is our fuel tank. This is an 8-gallon fuel tank. And this tube that you see right here is an overflow tube. As you can see, we have this raised all the way up. We have this fuel tank filled all the way up. And that's how we always run it. What happens is when this car leaves the starting line, some fuel will get sloshed out and fall through this vent hole and fall down out the bottom of the car. And the reason why that vent is there is that this fuel pump pulls so much fuel out, you have to have a vent. It's no difference from your fuel jug filling up your lawnmower at home. Next here is we have a tube, an 1.25 inch inlet tube. It's a hard line that runs all the way up to the bottom of the fuel pump. This fuel pump has 2 gears in it that as they rotate, it pumps fuel up through the main line here and goes into this metering block. After the fuel comes through this low meter, there's a Y right here. And a fuel line goes up here and a fuel line comes down here. And if you can look back here, it comes into a block. It's called a distribution block. Both these blocks are distribution blocks. These are just fittings here that go into the lines that go into the nozzles here. There's jets inside these nozzles. If the jet's bigger, it's going to flow more fuel. If it's smaller, it's going to flow less fuel. We put every nozzle here as a different size. Each one of these cylinders wants to do something different because of, or wants different fuel volume just because of the air distribution throughout the motor and what this blower causes. When Alexis hits the throttle, every single one of these lines is filled up with fuel and we're going down the racetrack. A regular hot rod that most people are used to and a carburetor, whenever they want more fuel, you hear guys say they change their jets and their carburetors. Mechanical fuel injection system is set up a little differently. Where a carburetor, if you want more fuel, you put a bigger jet. On an alcohol motor, it's just the reverse. How these systems work is it works off of a return system. We meter how much fuel we return back to our fuel tank. So if we want to have less fuel going to the motor, making a leaner condition, we will have a bigger jet. So now it's returning more fuel. It's all about it's how much fuel you're returning and off of this metering valve here. These 2 lines that we have coming back here, one's a return and one's a feed. The fuel system, all these holders here have jets inside of them. We control them with this management system. So as we go down the track, jets open and close, so we change our fuel curve. We don't have an electronic fuel injection system. It's a mechanical, so it's very hard to curve a fuel system. It gets pretty tricky, so right now we have a pretty good handle on it here at the racetrack this weekend. So that's pretty much our fuel system in a nutshell. It's a little more complex than that. I could actually talk about this all week, but that's basically how most of these fuel systems work in an alcohol funny car.